Namaste and welcome back to Typical Monk. Today we begin ecology with organisms and populations. We will see how an organism fits its habitat, what traits belong to a whole population, how it grows, and how different species live together. All of it explained simply and drilled the neat way, one idea at a time. Here is today's path. 5 stops. First, adaptations, the art of surviving a habitat. Second, population attributes, like density and age pyramids. Third, the 2 growth models, exponential and logistic. Fourth, population interactions, the 6 kinds of relationships. And fifth, the NEET drills, assertion, match, and statement. First, what exactly is an adaptation? An adaptation is any attribute, or form, or function, or of behavior that helps an organism survive and reproduce in its habitat. The desert kangaroo rat never drinks water. It meets its need by oxidizing internal fat, and it passes very concentrated urine. Allen's rule says mammals of colder regions have shorter ears and limbs so that less heat is lost, and polar seals carry a thick layer of blubber. Behavior also buys protection. The desert lizard basks in the sun or burrows, and organisms use hibernation, estivation, and diapause to skip a harsh spell. Now the traits that belong to a population. A population is all the individuals of one species in a given area, and some of its traits simply do not exist for a single individual. Population density, or N, is the number of individuals per unit area, and when counting is hard, we count relative signs like pud marks or fecal pellets. Birth rate, that is natality, death rate, that is mortality, and the sex ratio, these describe the whole group. Age pyramids come in 3 shapes: expanding, with a broad base, stable, shaped like a bell, and declining, with a narrow base. Now, how does a population grow? 4 things change density: natality, mortality, immigration, and emigration. Exponential growth happens when resources are unlimited. Its curve is J-shaped. Logistic growth happens when resources are limited up to the carrying capacity K. Its curve is C-shaped, that is sigmoid, and this one is closest to the real world. And R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase. It is the heart of both equations. Now, when 2 species live together, 6 kinds of relationships. Mutualism, both benefit, like lichens and mycorrhizae. Competition, both are harmed when they chase the same resource. Predation and parasitism, one benefits, the other is harmed. Commensalism, one benefits, the other is unaffected, and amensalism, one is harmed, the other is unaffected. Now the same relationships with real examples. Predation keeps prey in check. The moth Cactoblastis control the prickly pear cactus in Australia, and prey fight back with defenses as the monarch butterfly is toxic. Competition, Gauss's competitive exclusion principle, says 2 species on the same resource cannot coexist. The weaker one is eliminated, as seen in Connor's barnacles. Parasitism is host-specific. In brood parasitism, the cuckoo, that is the cool, lays its eggs in a crow's nest. Mutualism, lichens, that is alga and fungus, mycorrhizae, that is fungus and roots, and the type partnership between the fig and its wasp. Now the high yield pointers. The facts NEET turns into questions. 1. Exponential growth is J-shaped, logistic is S-shaped, that is sigmoid, capped by the carrying capacity K. 2. R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase, and density changes through 4 things: natality, mortality, immigration, emigration. 3. Age pyramids, expanding has a broad base, stable is bell-shaped, declining has a narrow base. 4. The interaction signs. In mutualism, both benefit. In competition, both are harmed. In predation and parasitism, one benefits and one is harmed. In commensalism, one benefits and the other is unaffected. And in amensalism, one is harmed and the other is unaffected. 5. Gauss means competitive exclusion, and Cactoblastis with the puncher means predation controlling a pest. Now the first drill, assertion and reason. Each time ask, Is it true? Is R true? And does R explain A? First, A, in exponential growth, the curve is J-shaped. R, resources are unlimited, so growth is not checked. Both true, and R explains A, so the answer is A. Second, A, in mutualism both species are harmed. R, a lichen, is a mutualism between an alga and a fungus. Here, A is false, but A is true, so the answer is D. Third, a kangaroo rat can survive without drinking water. R, it meets its water need by oxidizing internal fat. Both true, and R explains A, so the answer is A. Now the second drill, match the column, make the correct pair. Lichen, that is alga, and fungus, mutualism. A cuckoo egg in a crow's nest, brood parasitism. Carrying capacity, that is K, logistic growth. And competitive exclusion, gauze. Now the third drill, how many of these statements are correct? Test them one by one. First, logistic growth produces a sigmoid, that is an S-shaped curve. This is correct. Second, in commensalism, both species are harmed. This is wrong. Third, R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase. This is correct. So the correct statements are 2, the first and the third. Now let us key the errors that students fall into. Misconception. The exponential growth curve is S-shaped. Truth, exponential is J-shaped. The S-shaped, that is sigmoid, one is logistic. Misconception. In commensalism, one of the two species is harmed. Truth, one benefits, the other is neither harmed nor benefited. Now test yourself. Answer each one in your head before it appears. Answer first. That is how you build strong NEET recall. Question 1. Which growth model has a carrying capacity? The answer, logistic, that is sigmoid. Question 2. What does R stand for? The intrinsic rate of natural increase. Question 3. A cuckoo egg in a crow's nest is what? Brood parasitism. Question 4. Two species cannot share one resource. Which principle? Competitive exclusion, that is gauze. Question 5. The interaction signs for mutualism, both benefit. Let us gather it all in one breath. Adaptations help an organism survive and reproduce. The kangaroo rat, Allen's rule. Population attributes, density, natality, mortality, sex ratio, and age pyramids. Growth, exponential, that is J, unlimited, logistic, that is S, capped by the carrying capacity K. Interactions, mutualism, competition, predation, parasitism, commensalism, and amensalism. Gauze's competitive exclusion and predation can control a pest, as with Cactoblastis. Next class, the ecosystem, energy flow, food chains, and pyramids. See you there. You have begun ecology and drilled it the NEET way. Ecology rewards the student who remembers the examples. One idea at a time, calmly, and you will crack NEET. This is typical monk. Every class, always free.